Hello there, and welcome back to another Monday live stream. As you saw, title and thumbnail, today we are going to be continuing the work. It's been months since I've done anything to the Minecraft display behind me. Hello there to everyone in the chat. I saw Hoarder66 got in there real early, about half an hour before the stream even started. Hello there, Juicy Cheese. Hello there, the Great Snow Blizzard, one of our members. And again, if you don't know about the memberships, I have plugged it enough on this channel. The lower tier gets access to the Discord and some behind the scenes videos. I was originally going to be posting them about once a month. However, I'm probably posting them closer to weekly or bi-weekly. So there are a ton of videos already out, but there's at least going to be one every single month. The higher members tier also gets access to the decals from my custom 3D printed minifigures. We have done 2 show series or pop culture references so far. We have most recently done Wicked, and we've also done some Wednesday minifigures. But on top of that, you get access to also all of my Lego mock instructions, which I think is pretty cool. Do let me know if the audio is working. I've had some issues with it only going through the left ear for headphone users. Hopefully I have fixed that. It was a problem with my recording software. It should be working now, but again, let me know in the chat. It's 5 a.m. So it's currently 10 a.m. for me here in the UK, and I do know it is a very odd time for me to be going live, but it's a nice quiet period. There's a lot of activity in the chat, and like I said, we are going to be continuing to build our Minecraft display. As you can see behind me, my unit is split into 4 main sections, one of which is the Lego City, one of which I've recently done an update. I think the video went out yesterday on the fact that the minifigures are now taking up what was originally going to be my Star Wars mock display. That's not enough room for a sizable Star Wars mock, and Star Wars is already taken up everywhere else in this room. So it's now going to be shifted to minifigures, and you might actually notice I've already got rid of the massive minifigure absolute unit of a display, but we'll get more into that later. I'm going to start bringing the Minecraft stuff over. I do have 2 base plates to move it to. I've already plated it out a little bit, but it's not been plated very well. Hopefully this is bright yellow. Hopefully this doesn't show out, but I'll probably use this to go underneath some sandy bits. And then we've got the 2 of these which take up the entire room in the unit. So having it on 2 displays, I think for the Minecraft display works because it's all going to be one massive hill, terrain, slope, plain. It's all going to be one massive something rather than the city, which is quite modular. 9 p.m. for the Great Snow Blizzard. So we got people all over the world here in the chat. Hello, wherever you're from. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from in the chat. And like I said, I'm going to bring over the Minecraft stuff and then get into a little bit about the display, but most of the update is going to be in yesterday's video. So I've already worked on quite a bit for the Minecraft area. I say I've worked on it. I've built 1 diorama, which is similar to the Star Wars ones I have built. The Tantive one is the only one that is going to be staying built, and there'll be more on that in next week's stream. But you can see I've built some diorama shapes out of existing sets like the Axolotl house. And me and my fiance mostly, are big fans of these animal houses. So there are going to be a load of them incorporated into this, and perhaps spaces for a few others that we've got our eyes on. But the Axolotl house was originally across 2 plates. I don't know if I need that 2x4 piece, but originally it was across 2 base plates, which just isn't going to work because then you're connecting the whole thing together, and it would be easier to whack this on its side. And this cutout base plate is not Lego branded. I'm not sure if you can see that. There are no Lego logos on it. I have cut up my fair share of Lego logo base plates, but they're just too expensive to be doing for all my displays. So I believe these have been got from Smith's. I don't know if it's a 5-pack, 10-pack, but they've got some really good quality base plates. I've started 3D printing my own for any smaller than half a base plate, but the reason I've cut this in half, and I'll introduce something in just a second. We do have, as with every week, the first stream we did was on a really old webcam using the audio, I do believe, from said webcam. Then by the next week, we upgraded the camera. So I'm using the one that I record on, which has its fair share of problems, but for the most part gets us through these streams and videos. And then week 3, which was last week, we upgraded the mic. So I now have a mic, which means I can go all the way over here out of shot. And though you can't see me, you can still hear me loud and clear. I have no idea what I'd be doing if I still used the wired one, because it only had, I think, a meter, 1.2 meter cord, which is this distance from me to you. So I'd have to just awkwardly carry the camera around in my hands and not the steadiest. And this week, I am proud to, you know what, we'll get onto the base plates in a minute. There is something we've got to do first, because I am introducing a desk cam. In last week's stream, I kept saying about all the stuff that was out of the camera and that you can't see because it's directly below where you are watching from. So I thought I might as well put that webcam from the very first stream to use and introduce the desk cam so you can see everything that's going on outside of the main camera. And I think whilst we're building Minecraft, this can be very, very useful. But back to the base plates for just a second. You'll notice this is hopefully exactly half of a base plate. I did cut this up quite some time ago. Like I said, I think it's been 2 months since we've done an update to the Minecraft display. But if I put, this is, I think this is a 30, yeah, it's a 32 by 32 in yellow, 48 by 48 in grey, which are the 2 sizes that Lego make. And if I put this cutout just next to it, it turns the yellow space from a 32 by 32 to a 32 by 48, which will take up the remainder 16 by 32 space of plates in the Minecraft scene. So on the left hand side, I'm keeping the same. For those of you that have watched the video and perhaps come from the video or saw the short that I posted up that you would have been welcomed at the start of this stream, hopefully, at least, if all things went well, I am keeping that design. I'm keeping the sandy bit on the left. We've got the underwater with the axolotl building up to hopefully one day the turtle house, especially if we see that on sale come Black Friday or in the New Year's sale, or Lego's on sale so much, to be fair. Give it a couple months and most of the sets are on sale. So hopefully we'll get that. And I'm not sure how much of that side we will be doing today, because my main focus is building up the massive terrain. I think we got a few big plans at the back, like the spruce tree farm and also the watchtower. But I said at the start of the open of this stream that I have completely cleared my old Star Wars minifigure display. And this isn't built using Lego bricks. There's Lego plates on top, but this is all compatible bricks I got for a lot cheaper than you can pick up these bricks, even on sites like Bricklink and the Lego Online Pick-a-Brick. So I have built this quite well. It's quite well structured at the back, and I hope to take some of this structure and elements over into Minecraft and make a nice secure platform that we can then build up with official Lego bricks. And most bricks are going to come from these Minecraft sets that we've got broken down. We've got so many of them, and that means so many minifigures to put into these. And the Minecraft magazine as well is really cool for getting those minifigures that you might not have got through the sets. So I'm going to put this to good use, building up the base, and it looks like it'll be straightforward. I could probably try and thin out the bricks a little bit as we take it over, but first we need to know what we are doing. So we don't need the middle base plate that is just covered in a ton of minifigures. Perhaps I could use that to show you exactly what I mean. But we've got this base plate here, which is laid out pretty much how it's going to be. We've got a little village. Perhaps I can slide this over into the desk camera, making use for it already. But as you can see, we have a little village just up the front, and I do have an alternate camera for these being flipped, so you can see this just that much clearer. We've got the village at the front, which again is a diorama that I put together, I think, at the end of last year when I was doing the Mario and even the likes of the Dawn of base. We've then got a nice big tree that I have mocked together myself. I think that is honestly the perfect tree. I do not have enough parts to make another one of these, so it is going to be a lone tree, but perhaps we can have a few little ones around it to have this little forest out the back of the village. We then have our animals, which includes a chicken house, which does look really cool and also has a little feature where the eggs can pop out. You might be familiar with a set. We've also got the sheep pen just out front, and then the wandering villagers and a little player character zombie interaction as well out the front. So hopefully that gives you some ideas at how this is going to come across. I've already laid out a lot of the things. We just need to make it look like a cohesive Minecraft world. And I think the best way to do it is just to take this plate, lay it down, and perhaps build up a few more tiles. We could even raise the village up by a brick, which might be a really good idea. And then we can just tile off the rest of the floor. Because with Minecraft and with Lego Minecraft specifically, it's quite awkward to create because you can't just whack down bricks, call it a day, and hope that it just works together. Because Minecraft goes by a very specific, it's 5 plates tall or 2 bricks wide is a brick. It's a very cube mechanism, which Lego doesn't tend to stick through for most of its sets. And I will admit, that's going to make this a little bit hard, but we've got a ton of bricks. Let me show you the bricks we've got just laying around. I'm going to run a quick ad break, and hopefully not all of you have gone to an ad. But once the rest of you return, this drawer is absolutely filled with, I mean, it's filled with half my bricks, half Minecraft bricks. So I actually have different compartments just for the bricks that we've got from Minecraft sets, and a ton of these bricks in the middle have come. You can sort of tell which ones are the Minecraft bricks because we've got a load of these. I don't know what the the trans green come from, leaf elements. We've got water. We've also got a few lava blocks laying around somewhere, although I think they're more just plain orange. And we've got a load of these. They remind me of the clay biomes. I'm not quite sure exactly what they are, but a lot of these clay colored bricks, and there we go. And the darker nougats, the brown bricks, the tans for sand, and a lot of the green bricks and everything else. In fact, I have a ton of 2x2 green bricks I am going to be adding from my collection, and eventually we will tile this up. This isn't a Cheesy Studios production here. I don't have all of this ready to go now, but I think we have enough bricks to try and start it out. And the good thing with the grass at the front, because the diorama is quite grassy, and we also have some, oh, this is going to be 2 hours of me not remembering what blocks are called, but we have some of the slightly lower bricks here as well, which at some point we probably will drop down half a plate or a plate, dependent on how the rest of it looks. But for now, I think the easiest way to tack this down is to get some brown bricks, because a grassy block isn't fully green on top, which is why you don't see many green bricks in Minecraft besides the ones used for the tree, which is really helpful for us. But at the same point, I don't think I have too many green plates. Now, instead of this, let me grab the other. I'm pretty sure these are all, if not mostly, used from Minecraft as well, but these are all 2x3 bricks, which is a little surprising because you don't see many 2x3, or you don't see many block and a half elements in Minecraft. But I guess in terms of Lego, it's quite handy if you want to offset something in the middle. You can use 2x3s around it, and this is probably the easiest way. I have a few really long bricks, but I'm going to save them in case we want to do any floating islands or something like that later on. So I think 2x3s is the best brick to use up for just lining the front of this. And the reason I'm doing this is because if we get 2 plates or a plate and a tile, or perhaps we can even mix match, a bit like the Sonic. If you've watched my Sonic diorama, if you've seen a few of the Sonic mocks out there, you'll know that it alternates between dark tan and brown. And we could do something like that with the plate line in the middle with dark brown and green, just to make it look like the grass is coming down. But for now, I think I'm just going to use a dark brown brick and cover it with a green plate, and then whatever tile on the top. Like I said, with the city, we've got the slightly different colored pathway just at the front. I'm going to move this back to the desk cam so you can see a bit clearer. We've got that slightly different pathway out the front, which again should be a little lower than the grass. We'll work on that at some point. We might need to use some non 2x3 because I don't think we can match it up to the size of this, but that allows us to put some green plate underneath that. And we could use 1 2x4, or we could just have it coming down at the edge. There's a easier fix for nearly everything when it comes to Lego. If it gets too complicated, sometimes you just got to rethink the initial design and play around with it a little bit. But what I'm going to do here is not just create a perimeter for this model. As you can see, it's built on 2 plates. Oh, it's built on 4 plates. I must have needed the bigger green plate. I thought it was built on something like this, but it doesn't really make a difference because whether you're using a big plate, whether you're using 4, I don't even know if you can see the 4 little plates. There you go. Whether you're using 4 plates or 1 big plate, you're going to need a center support. I try to support them every 6 studs across and along. If it's something like this or it fits an 8x matrix, I'll try to go that 8th stud without support. And what I mean is, so on this plate right here, if I was to grab a bunch of 2x2s, of course, we're going to need some corner supports. If this is at the edge of a plate, those corners will be in compared to sticking out, but just for the sake of explaining what I mean, they're going to be on the edge, and then we'll have one in the middle there and the same around the outside, and that means one in the center. And what we've got here is 6 studs of gaps, so they're only supporting an 8x8 plate or something a bit bigger than that. It gets a bit complex when you're mixing up different sizes because like there we have a 6x8 I believe on the end. You'd have to move that 2 across, and then that does shift everything else, so perhaps you'll need a bonus one at some point, but you can always just move the other brick along, and yeah, it works out quite nicely in the end. So I tend to use colors that I won't be using for the rest of the model, and because Minecraft is very brown, green, you've got blue for water, orange for lava, you've got light and dark bluish grey, as well as black for stone, for deep slate, for every type of stone they've now got. We've got dark tan. It's more of like an oak wood, but not the planks, the actual oak wood. And we've got red is mostly for wool, so I guess I could make use of all these colors. I don't want to use all the colors, but I do have a ton of yellow bricks laying around, and actually not only yellow bricks, but a ton of yellow, blue, and red. I think yellow I have the most of, and then I have blue the next. It's close between blue and red, but I have a load of yellow, red, and blue. So that's what I'm going to be using for the underneath. And I know some of you, these are official Lego bricks. You can't see the stamp on the end, but you're going to have to take my word for it. And I know, realistically, I should probably be using quite a bit of these bricks to build it up. I just don't think it's worth breaking it down until we get to the back, because the back is going to need so many of those bricks. I really do want to save as much as I can. But like I said with the start, I know it's roughly this size plus an extra 6 bricks, so I can use that to make sure I am supporting it properly, which I wasn't just then. But eventually we'll be able to tack down a ton of the models we already have and just get it looking better. After this stream finishes, I will be finishing up anything that I talk about during the stream. So hopefully by the video tomorrow, rather than it just being another, or rather than it just being a highlight reel or highlight montage, there will be actual work done between now and tomorrow. That one, why is that not even? Oh no, that works. So hopefully if any of you have chimed into the stream and do see the video pop up tomorrow, definitely check in. The start will be going over the stream, but then there will be whatever I've done basically between now and tomorrow. So hopefully more people can enjoy that. We've got the 6x on the right. And then as this comes together, it's going to be looking really, really cool. I also have big plans this year to work on the Harry Potter display. At the minute, it's sets lining it, and the modular Hogwarts that Lego created hasn't worked out great if you don't buy every single one of them, because they pile up and we've just got a brick wall of Hogwarts chilling on our shelf. So hopefully there will be some big plans for an update for that. Well, there are some big plans for an update for that, but hopefully this will fit perfect and we are one step closer to quite a nice looking, I might add, Minecraft display. Now, when you're pushing these down, there's really no set way to do it. I do have a hammer that I use actually, and not a proper hammer, not a metal hammer with a metal head, but I have a plastic hammer that I'll probably get out by next stream to show you off if you haven't seen it already. And it's got a little rubber head to it, so if you were to get like a rubber mallet of any sort, you can use that to smack down your Lego if you're building any larger projects. The reason I got that was because I was using hundreds, if not thousands, of studs for my Mos Esper pod race Mark, which was a lot of fun to make, but also a lot of effort just to put that many studs together. Now, as I said, with the building system that Lego Minecraft uses, each brick is about 5 plates, or a brick and 2 plates tall. Now, I didn't think of that when I put this down on the board, and we could remove it and add a plate to allow us to go down to the base plate level. However, I think I'm just going to use one of these, and perhaps, I don't think we'll get a second, but I'll use one of these and something else to keep it built up. Again, you can somewhat see between the bottom of the main cam and the desk cam, I'll just add a few of the plates around, and I don't want it to be all one level. As I said, the back is going to be built up. Behind the village, I think it would be really cool to have one of the outposts looking over the village, or not necessarily looking over the village, but I guess looking to raid the village. We've only got the one villager house. I built it a while ago. I'm quite happy with the design still, and I might try to expand this a little bit or have a little bit of the trail wandering off. I think this house, the farm, and the animal pen behind gets the idea across of a village quite nicely without taking up too much space. We're going to then transition into this plains biome, or just this giant field that gives us a lot of chance to tell stories. It's something I do a lot in the Lego City, and it is quite a fun thing to do in general in terms of telling stories, adding minifigures, that rather than building something with bricks, because we can build all day long and build these massive outposts and different villages, but how many stories there are. Like in the village, we do have a villager behind the door, and that was because initially we had a zombie on the outside trying to break in. It's not something people are going to know just by looking at it perhaps, but it's something that because we worked on it, we know it's there, and it is quite a fun build. All right, we're definitely going to need a 2x4 unless we were to build it up, but we're still going to need some sort of 2x4. So perhaps I should grab a whole stack of them. And by stack, just because this is a Minecraft stream, I do have to specify a stack of my bricks is 6, not quite 64. I wish I could just pull out 64 of one brick. I wonder how deep the drawers would have to be to hold 64 of a brick in a stack. But now we've got this done, we need a 10 by plate. I'm not too well versed with Lego plates, but I'm pretty sure they haven't made many 10 by plates. Maybe like a 10 by 6 or something, but still would need a 10 by 8. And yeah, that's not going to work with our numbers. But by building this up, it gives us a better idea. And like I said, this whole stream is mostly going to be putting different... We might rearrange a few things in a minute because we've got the whole spruce forest that we need to introduce between the main grassy lands and the beach. And I'm not sure that bleeds in as well as if we went straight from this to the beach, but we'll find out later, and we will really just see as we go along. Like with all these bricks that I will probably be moving. That does... Oh, it doesn't seem right when you've got the brick one closer at the front, but hopefully it works out. All right, let's catch up on the chat. Hoarder66 is getting some sleep before a move. Oh, loads of people are moving around now. I'm not quite sure. It must be a popular time to move, but I'm not sure there is a great time to move. But hopefully the move goes well. And yes, catch some rest. And you can always watch this on demand if you are off to work, if you are off to bed. I know some people do stay up for it. I'm very grateful to all of yous. And on the next Star Wars mark, yes, don't forget to like the stream. I'm awful with liking videos I watch. I'll watch them through on some sort of playlist or like add them to my watch later and completely forget to like them. Before I come off, go back through them all, like, maybe leave a comment if I had any ideas, but they need, they being YouTube here, by the way, and I'm going to try not to bite the hand that feeds me here, but YouTube need to have some, I don't know if you can like a video from inside the video, because I watch a lot of my things on full screen. So if you do have the stream full screened and are watching on some sort of computer, let me know if you can like the stream from inside the stream, because that'd be a really cool feature to add. They're adding a load of really good features. I mean, we're still waiting for the 3-minute shorts. Hopefully they come out before 2025, but it's looking like it might seep into the new year. I'm not waiting around for them specifically. We've got the new community feature that looks really, really good. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Obviously, me being inside YouTube, it does make it a bit easier for me to see future updates. I haven't been told not to share this, so if you haven't seen it, YouTube are going to be adding a community feature, which is almost like Discord in a sense, where it allows you to comment and to share images and to share things based on something that I've started a thread for. I think there was another platform that started threads as well, and it's basically just a thread for YouTube, which will be really fun to interact with when I build something. If any of you have built a similar model, or there's any ideas, or if there's any ideas for a future mock, that would be really fun. Then I can go through that and see what I could build here on the channel. But it'll be interesting to see what else YouTube rolls out. And I think being able to like it, you can subscribe from inside the video. I'm not sure if I have it enabled on streams, but I know in some of my videos, at least my older videos, I have my little icon, which is very similar to my profile picture in the bottom right of the screen. And it acts as a watermark so that people can't just record my videos, re-upload them. YouTube catches that really quick, but there are other ways of trying to download a video between you and me. But the big thing is, if you click on that, it allows you to subscribe to the channel without having to come out of the video. And I think perhaps switching that from subscribing to liking the video, or perhaps even having the choice to like it, and I guess it would be a bit hard if you like the video and then it's still there. It would be something that you'd want to like the video and then remove it from the screen, but it'd be a really fun feature to add, not just as someone who makes videos, but as someone who watches a load of videos. Being able to like it without having to go to my keyboard, press the escape key. I guess I've still got to come to my keyboard to click the mouse, but still, I think it would be a really cool feature to add. Let's try and fit some more of these trees. We could bring the sheep pen a little bit forward so it matches in with the village, which I don't think it's going to fit on this display, but it could be. YouTube are definitely revisiting a few different ideas, and I think that is from a business model. I've done it with videos countless times. If something doesn't work, I should really be hoovering this up as I'm dusting, but I just want to get most of the dust off. If a business idea doesn't work, say a video doesn't work, normally I'll go back, try it again with a different theme or perhaps in a different style and see if it does take off. So it's going to be interesting to see the public opinion on it, because I know as a creator, being able to interact with viewers a lot more is going to be really, really cool. But we've already got Discord for channel members, and community posts do allow for messages back, and including images, being able to send images from a viewer's side. I know most of you are going to be fine with it, but you are going to get some dodgy people. So how are you going to restrict that? Because then if YouTube decide to only roll this out for a feature like channel members, Discord, Patreon, it already exists for anyone that has channel members. Perhaps for people starting through, it's going to be a bit better, but yeah, it's not the greatest feature. I'm just interested to see how it rolls out, and I'm really excited to see how I can incorporate that into something like this channel. But it is going to be the ability to watch at triple speed. I think double speed goes way too fast. I mean, I've watched a few of my videos on like 1.25 speed, but I think I speak quite fast anyway. I don't watch quite fast. I tend to watch them, if anything, on a slower speed, especially for trailers. Having that 0.25 speed for trailers is really, really cool, because some of the recent Marvel trailers just flash, 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 and you can't see what's going on. It's a lot easier than trying to pause it. But a triple speed, I'm trying to think when a triple speed would be handy from me. I don't think I watch much content. I mean, a lot of the content here, Lego side, I mean, that's a whole conversation. Let's not dive too deep down this rabbit hole. But a lot of the content on the Lego side of YouTube is very, very fast, very flashy. And I think most of it is because I don't tend to watch a lot of that stuff, but most of it is because that caters to a younger audience. We've seen it with TikTok being very, 10-second clips being more popular than, I think you can now upload like half-an-hour videos on TikTok. I'm not sitting there watching a half-an-hour TikTok. That's a YouTube video at that point. But likewise, TikTok have opened up to longer style and landscape videos. On the other end, YouTube have opened up to shorts. And then you've got platforms like Twitch that are just sat there laughing with their live streams, not making longer videos, not making shorter content, vertical content, just allowing people to do what they want, really. There's opening the limit on TikTok is an interesting idea, because the whole point of TikTok was, I feel like, well, not the whole point of TikTok, but it got its popularity a lot from the Vine style content with the shorts. And you've only got, I think you can do up to like 3-minute TikToks, which are good if needed. But I don't feel like a lot of people that are hitting it off with TikTok and getting a ton of different like deals, and I don't really know how TikTok pays its creators, if there is any monetary, or if it's purely just a for fun platform and TikTok takes home all the cash, which I feel like for the most part is probably the case. But the whole point is making that short content and just recording a minute, uploading it, and it's done. I tend to watch most videos on triple speed. I don't really know in the Lego space. I don't watch many non-Lego videos, if I'm honest, but I don't really know. There's got to be somewhere where, or some point where triple speed genuinely is going to be a popular format. Maybe for stop motions, if someone was doing like an early stop motion and it was quite blocky, pun intended, pun very much intended, then that could be quite good. Again, I think double speed is good. It's something that they should allow. So YouTube, when you go on a video, they have how many, like 7 options: 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, regular, 1.25, 1.5, and 2. Do they allow 1.75? It's somewhere between 0.25 and 2. And I think having a little bar, perhaps, where you can put in your own value. I guess a load of people will try to watch like 1 million speed. Perhaps they can cap it at 5 times speed. I feel like 5 times speed is a lot faster than anyone really needs. But perhaps having something like that feature where above 2 you can put in a value 2 to 5 and anywhere in between that, because especially if you want to get a song, perhaps a song is at a certain beats per minute and you're trying to speed it up, and 2 times or maybe 1.5 times isn't hitting the spot and you want it at 1.83 times the speed, being able to put in that value, perhaps even from minus, you can't go minus speed. Minus speed is something good though. I would like to see a reverse YouTube, and again, adding the different speeds to it is just going to be a lot of effort. So just a reverse speed, and then 0.25, all the regular intervals, but then one of them that allows you to go anywhere between 0 and say 3, 5. I think 5 is a nice round number that they can just cap it on. Bit more than 2, goes over 3, 5 times speed. No one's going to need more than that. I feel like that captures every single thing, but being able to do that is really cool. Actually, whilst we're speaking on this, a feature where people could submit a feature to be added to YouTube would be really, really cool as well. And I get that's another system that's likely going to be abused at some point by certain people, but everything's going to be abused at some point by a certain group of people. It's just how the internet works. I realized I have more yellow and I started using blue, which could possibly be really needed, really helpful for any of the water. But I am hoping to get some trans elements down the line, trans light blue, trans blue, translucent blue elements to make the water look just that little bit better and enable us to have different scenes underneath, which I think could be really cool. So it's not a massive problem. And then to round off the last little okie dokes, we're going to need another blue brick down there. But as I was saying, a YouTube feature where you can submit YouTube features. I'm pretty sure there's one for Google. I don't remember exactly where I've seen this, but I'm pretty sure there's a feature like that for Google where you can submit your own sort of, I guess it's less to affect Google, though. It's probably more so for like the different Google apps and stuff like that. But it would be interesting to see something that would allow. It's a bit like Lego Ideas. Lego Ideas has a ton of different fan-made sets and different pop culture themes, and everything over on Lego Ideas is really cool. But it would be like a Lego Ideas for YouTube. I want to see YouTube come out with their own Lego Ideas that allows you to submit. I guess the platform's big enough that people making a video about it, not me necessarily speaking in a stream, but you know, people that are really tech minded and know what they're talking about rather than going on about a 5 times speed, could make a video on it. And I suppose YouTube's probably more inclined to listen to those creators that are really active on the platform. But it'd be nice to see something like that that would just allow smaller creators such as myself, such as, I don't know where they'd cap it, probably monetized creators could submit stuff for improvements and different things that could help them out on the platform, because we're not just talking about little bits like a like button on full screen and 3 times the viewing, but also people that might need that extra mechanism feature that would genuinely help them to make content. Could be really, really interesting to see how that would play out. Great Snow Blizzard mentioned the dislikes. I still don't. YouTube are actually getting rid of views as well. I don't know if you've noticed this. Again, as a creator, they tell us in meetings and all that, but YouTube hid the dislikes. I feel like that's ages ago. I want to say that's like the best of a decade ago that they hid dislikes, because it was around the time where people were making a load of the most disliked videos, and you're looking. I think didn't Gangnam Style become the most disliked at one point, and then PewDiePie had a video. Then Justin Bieber's one of his songs had the most dislikes. I don't exactly remember. I never really watched any of that, but it was so popular on YouTube you couldn't scroll past any sort of content, mostly Lego, which is what I watch, without seeing something about a disliked video. But it's placed that in the wrong place. But it's odd how they're getting rid of the dislikes, because dislikes affect viewership so much. And well, I think the dislikes thing was more so for the, I don't want to say, it's not for the creators. I don't really know who it was for, because the creators can still see dislikes. I can go on my videos. In fact, let's give it a go. I'm pretty sure I can still see dislikes. I hope so. Because when we go on a video, dislikes isn't a number. I'm not sure if anyone has been disliking any videos. I do say to dislike, well, I don't say to dislike videos, don't go disliking all my videos. But I do say people can dislike it, because YouTube is built for the viewer. It's something we get droned into us in all these YouTube meetings. YouTube isn't for, well, no, YouTube is for the creator and for everyone, but the YouTube algorithm is for the viewer. If you like something and drop a like, that like doesn't help that content. If a million of you were to click on a video, like it, and click off, that video is not getting pushed out. That video is not seeing another million people because you clicked on it and you clicked off. You didn't watch a lot of it. I think watch time is fairly important. It's not the end all be all, but it's fairly important when it comes to engagement and stuff like that. If you're not watching the video, less people are likely to watch it. But at the same point, it doesn't mean my video isn't going to be seen again, because if there is someone who watches a load of videos that most people click on and click off, it's going to be recommended to them instead. I am butchering this explanation. The experts definitely say a bit better, but what were we doing? Looking for dislikes. All right. So it does tell me how many dislikes. We look at the Wicked minifigures, 12 likes, 2 dislikes. But I have to dive deep into that video to see how many. It tells me 12 likes. 12 likes, I mean, you can see when you click on the video, it says 12 likes, and the dislike button is hollow. So why isn't it showing those 2 dislikes? That is 2 people that just don't want to see more of the Moldy Mates 3D printed figures, or perhaps they've clicked on it and they're not a fan of customs. I really don't know. I have no idea why it is they've disliked it. I don't really need to know, which is why YouTube hides it out of the way. Instead, as a creator, we get 85.7% likes v dislikes. A percentage of the likes over the likes and dislikes. So how many people have interacted and how much percent of them are likes, which I think is odd, because like I said, as a creator, dislikes do not, well, they don't affect the channel on my side. It's purely that person that's disliked the video or any type of content. Could even be a community post. I don't know if you can dislike community posts, but the people that have disliked that are going to be seeing less, which is fair enough. I'm pretty sure I don't think I've disliked a video, but for the sake of it, I'm going to say I've probably disliked something that I didn't want to see more of. The thing with dislikes is YouTube have 3 different ways of disliking a video. They have the actual dislikes. Not going to stick that finger up on the stream. They have the actual dislikes. Then they have do not recommend channel, I think, which is similar to the dislikes, only it's meant to stop them popping up. The dislikes you might see, so someone who's disliked it was one of the Moldy Makes videos, might see a Star Wars mock pop up in the future. That might be content they enjoy based on what they're watching. However, there's also a not interested, which I feel like is very similar to the dislike button. The dislike button is just not interested. So I wonder if the dislike button is actually doing much. I have to give this a try, because I use the not interested feature and the do not recommend channel feature quite a bit. There's a load of misinformation here in the Lego space on YouTube, and loads of creators have gone into depth. I'm not going to create any drama by talking about it too much in this stream. We're talking about dislikes and stuff enough, but usually if someone makes a video that's very clickbaity and very, you know, trying to get engagement rather than making good content, or if they don't seem like they're enjoying the video, I will start off not marking it as not interested, but if it keeps popping up, I will tend to go with the do not recommend channel, because it's just not the content that I want to watch here on YouTube. I want to enjoy the content as much as hopefully all of you watching this stream and watching all of my videos do. Because I think if the creator isn't liking the content they're making, it does have a trickle-down effect on the actual content itself. Sometimes it can feel forced, or sometimes it can feel a certain way. But my point being, I use those 2 features. I don't use this like button. So I don't know if the dislike button is actually effective, or perhaps when YouTube stopped showing the numbers for them, they might have also stopped the feature in general of the dislike button actually working, which is something that I'm afraid I really don't have enough information to work with here. But I'd love to know the answer for that. All right, do we use a 2x2 Garnin? But that would be something that perhaps one day I can ask someone and get an answer, but I don't think anyone really knows. Anyway, with the dislikes, what was the dislikes tied into? We were talking about, there was another feature with it. Oh, the views. Okay. Oh well, that's a whole nother conversation. I think that deserves an ad break. Let's have a little sip of drink and then we'll think on it. Yeah. I think this is one of those things from a viewer, especially before I started making videos. I'm in a place where I don't know how, but I'm managing to turn my hobby, Lego, into a full-time career, and it is a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Not to say it's impossible. If you want to give it a shot, I definitely recommend doing it, because you might find out that this is actually quite fun for you, but it's a lot of behind the scenes with these statistics, with the analytics, and I know a load of the bigger channels have teams dedicated to just trying to run through these analytics, and good luck to them, because it's not easy whatsoever. But with these analytics, I think we could. I think it's going to be one of those things that it's not simple. It's not straightforward. There's no easy explanation to it. But onto YouTube, getting rid of the view count on videos, because that is something that a load of people are talking about. Well, I don't think a load of people are talking about, but a load of people are going to be talking about for sure. And it's interesting because the reason they're doing it is to help. He's still sitting down here. Oops. Is to help smaller creators, because statistically, people are less likely to click on a video that has lower views than something that, you know, like a Mr. Beast video. Mr. Beast probably makes millions of views per video. Again, not content that I watch, so I can't exactly speak on the matter. But taking it as an example, because it is a very successful example, I might add. Mr. Beast has millions of views, say, on one video. People are going to be more inclined to click on that video, and I think it's a curiosity thing. I think it's a case of, well, why have people clicked on that? And I think I have somewhat seen that on my channel with content like my minifigure. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I had a minifigure scale video back in May that hit quite quickly, and we're speaking sort of 1-2 days, 20k views. And then it sort of peaked. And that was, I feel, because people were curious. Well, what is it about this minifigure scale that gets it perfect? And the whole perfection, which I detail in that video, was the fact it was consistent. And I really do still, to this day, think that consistency is, at least in some way, an equivalent to perfection, especially when it comes to Lego. But for a lot of these big videos, I do think there is some level of curiosity that is needed to. I don't think the success of the video is necessarily down straight to curiosity, but I do think to an extent that without that curiosity and people wondering why the video's done so well, perhaps it wouldn't perform as well as it has. So that is an interesting again, rabbit hole to go down. I think there's so much at play here that it can't be contained just to one thing. It's always going to be a handful of different things that all affect each other. And like I said, just everything is brought into play because of, oh, let's not do that, because no one really knows what's going on half the time. I'll admit, sometimes I'll look at it, my short that popped off. I make so many videos, it's hard to keep track of exactly when it is, and I'm noticing that as they go on. But we'll loop back to views and view counts in just a second. With my short that popped off, that was me sticking the AV7 Canon. I've broken down the actual AV7, but I still have the Canon here. So I stuck this on the ATTE. That's almost on 1 million views. Why 1 million people have wanted? Because it isn't this. This is an improved version. Perhaps I could like redo the short, but I don't think it would be as popular, because I think in terms of mock building, a lot of people build this ship that you've seen on screen, this ship that you see on screen, and I see a few channels. There's a few channels that I mean, there's a few of you watching. I see you in the comments that make mocks built on a twist of something, and it's something that I am going a little bit more into with my Zipper Delta model that I built recently, but taking a vessel and mixing it with another one, which is a really cool idea. And the fact that I took a turret off one ship and placed it on the body of another ship, that's all I did. I didn't modify anything. The connection was there. I just took the head of the AV7 on the ATTE, and a million people stopped to watch that short. Well, I think technically about 800, 900,000 people, not quite a million. A few of you did watch it twice, so thank you so much for that. It feels like a game sometimes, but at the same point, it's not a very easy game or a very straightforward game. Easy is the wrong word. Nothing around YouTube really is easy, but it definitely feels like some sort of game. It does genuinely feel 1, 2, brick. Oh, okay. That should be up. But it is a fun game. It is a very fun game. I couldn't say otherwise. Alright. So what I'm doing down here, I've got the desk cam. I'm not even using it. Let me try and move this over onto the desk cam because I really do want to show off what is going on down here. Well, we've only got figures on that. I don't think we need this base plate anymore. As for what I'm going to do with this, I could move this to the Harry Potter. I could move this to the Harry Potter display because, yeah, we'll keep the figures out. Because I don't really have a solid plan for what we're doing with the Harry Potter display. I know roughly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be dusting it a lot, that's for sure. But there's no solid plan to what's going to be going on. Actually, I do have a little bit of bamboo. Perhaps we can create this big tree into a jungle region, and it'd be really cool if we can get a giant jungle tree going up the side next to the outpost, because the reason we're going with spruce at the back, move this, the reason we're going with spruce at the back is to fill out some of that background, which is kind of what I'm doing with them all, especially when it comes to the Lego city with all the modular buildings. There we go. Now you can see. So the reason we've got the spruce plates, the spruce trees, the outpost, the bamboo, jungle section is because that's going to come up. So we're going to have the ground come up. As you can see here, I've started building this terrain that will slightly increase as we get towards the underwater scene, which more on that towards the end of the stream. And towards the back here, it will curve round. So this village is in a little sinkhole almost, and that is to fill out the backdrop so we can have the jungle trees, the outposts, the spruce trees. I feel like there was something else. Oh, and then we've got the beach. I don't know what I'm going to do in the background of the beach. We could go with a desert temple. It's not going to be as tall as I would like, but we can always go with like some other built structure. Maybe I'm going to need a bit of your input for that. I'm not quite sure what we can build tower in the desert, but a desert temple would work quite nicely if we built a little mound for it, because like I said, we've got the axolotl house at the front. We could split it up into 3 16 by 16 or 16 by 32 quadrants. So we've got the axolotl with a little underwater scene. Then we've got the turtle house bleeding into the axolotl, bleeding into the underwater bit. And that will have like the camel and a little few cactuses and stuff like that. And then we can have another mound with a desert temple. That's a good idea. Taken me an hour to go through this hot chocolate, but it's still nice towards the end. Anyway, back to the views. Yeah, so YouTube are removing views for lower videos, and Snow Blizzard said if they wanted to improve, they should recommend videos with low view counts rather than getting rid of the views. I totally agree with that, but then at the same point, if people are no longer watching the lower view, someone's got to watch the videos with low views to get them up, and there's a handful of sites now. I know there was one years ago that I used to use that would take you to a video with, I think it said no views, but it was like 0 to 5 views, something like that. I got to shout out the BrickTap Discord as well. There's a little self-promo tab in there, not to say that they're all getting no views, But I think I whacked one of my videos in there as well. There's only a handful of people posting bits in there, but there's some really great content. So if you want to check that out, if you don't know about the Brick Tap Discord, it's through the Lego Leaks Reddit, and hopefully Lego aren't watching this video, because I don't know how legal Lego building it is over there. It's not an illegal Discord, of course. Discord would have something to say about that. But, you know, in terms of Lego, there are a lot of leaks and stuff over on there. But the community over there is something. It's really good. And I've started chiming up in there, as well as, of course, our own Discord, which has much more filtered new releases, less leaks, more so rumors, I guess, because the Lego community have been a bit caught out by some recent leaks, which perhaps that will be our next topic of the video. Great Snow Blizzard said, it's a bit cliche, but you could build a pyramid. Yeah, they do have these giant sand the temples in Minecraft are quite pyramid-like, and they've got like 4 almost like castle towers on each corner, on each corner of the pyramid. So I think that could look quite cool if I have one tower, add like a little minifigure or something to the top. I think this would be a really cool minifigure to have in the desert because of the orange robes. And I guess we got the fox next to it. It is quite orange. Perhaps it can stay down here. But we've got a load of different player characters. I've done a video going over... Did I tie it into my original... I might have tied it into my original Minecraft video, going over all the different characters we've got, because there are so many that come in sets, in magazines. And I think, well, there are a load of player characters that Lego have made. But I think we've got probably about half of them that have come out recently. So there is definitely a few more we could get. Something else as well with the gradients. As we build up, let's switch this around so you can see a bit clearer. As we build up, you'll notice that it's not exactly a smooth incline. We've got a little bit sticking out around the middle bit here, and I'm hoping to build a cave into this system. Now, I don't know where I'm at in this, but I would also like to have, perhaps towards the front, I guess this is the underwater bit, so this is going to bleed out into the underwater bit, but I would like to have a little section that we can remove that reveals a chunk of the Nether, and perhaps even include the transition with a Nether portal. So that might be going underneath this bit at the back here, and we'll just have a section that can be removed. I won't work on that just yet, but I think it's looking quite good as it is. I'm going to need some brown plates, some green plates. Yeah, brown and green I think is the only 2 that I need for this, but I don't think I have... Oh, I have a load of them 2x8s, which is really handy because, like I said, this is all a multiple of 8. These units, I've been very lucky. These are Calyx units from IKEA. This is the 4x4 behind me, and what I have done, I think you might have seen it even through progression on this channel, is I've removed the middle slats here. Lego isn't that heavy. As long as you've not got any heavy displays or anything on there, it's fine to have it like this. But I've moved the middle sections here and took the top 8 squares, turned them into 4 rectangles. Yes, reptiles. I've turned them into 4 rectangles, cuboids, I guess. They are 3-dimensional. I have to correct myself there. And they are a multiple of 8. It is 80 by 32. 48 plus 32. 80 by 32, which is really nice for building these displays, and even better than something like a Billy bookcase would be. But with Lego leaks, Lego Star Wars leaks specifically, a load of people recently, and I mean, it happens every year. I can't say like it's something that's only happened this year. It does genuinely happen every single year. I spot someone saying something and everyone runs for it like it is some form of gospel or something like that, and it's just purely something that someone would rather than being an actual leak, it's something that somebody wants to happen, which, you know, is fair enough. People are allowed to want different things in the Lego space. I'm not saying they're not. What I'm saying is a load of Instagram posts and Twitter posts and different accounts, mostly bot accounts, I think is the problem, and where a lot of this starts off. We do have green, but a lot of accounts take this and run with it. And before you know it, these top leakers, because they've seen it so much, and then talking about a set that started off as a simple, I want this. And that's what my leak video slowly became. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a big, I think the biggest community in Star Wars is either mock building or leaks. And I would argue, for me, leaks have been more, I think mock building is a bigger community, a lot nicer community, and the leak community is just more people watch content based on leaks and stuff like that compared to perhaps mock building. I wouldn't say leaks is more popular than mocks, but with mocks, you watch one video and then you're sort of done with it. Whereas with leaks, you watch a video and that takes you onto another. But anyway, the first Lego video I did was on this channel, Lego Star Wars leaks. 2 years, was it last year? No, it must have been last year. It might have been 2 years ago. I think it was for May 4th last year. And instantly, that was my most popular video on the channel. Bearing in mind, at the time, I was doing just Star Wars content. It was a bit of a shock to the system. And that's what made me think at first, hold on, there is a whole community on YouTube for Lego, which, surprise, is what I'm doing full time now. So thank you all for watching that video. But as I went on, I realized that the people, it got clicks, it got views, but it wasn't the side of the community that I wanted to connect with. It wasn't all yous watching, which you might like leaks, but you might not be part of the community that I'm talking about, because the ones I'm talking about are the ones that want to know like what sets are coming out next year. Up until they release, even when they're announced on the Lego website, there have been a few sets that have been announced and then pulled back, or perhaps only released in certain stores that haven't pulled it back in time. So I think leaks is a very touchy area for some, because of the fact that, you know, nothing is promised. And when a set doesn't come out, or when a leak is slightly wrong, which is Lego Star Wars, they're always wrong, because a lot of the people that are getting the insides in Lego, or perhaps working for Lego, usually enjoy Lego and enjoy the model making side, and aren't the biggest fans of something like Star Wars. So whereas I would be able to look at a Delta, and for the most part, for any of the popular, we're looking at Plos, Ahsokas and Kenobis, Delta or Eta, they're both Clara, or like a dark red and white with some green detailing. We've got an Ahsoka one rumored for next year, and there is a chance they've seen Ahsoka and perhaps it's gone with that. But we also get ships like the ones from Rebuild the Galaxy, which are made purely on Lego content that no one really knows about until the show has come out. What I'm trying to say is people can only know so much, and a lot of the Lego leaks that are coming out that I'm seeing videos of are pure speculation, but they're advertised. Like, you click on the video and they'll be saying about how they know every set coming out next year. And I think it's the way it's packaged that I'm not interested in. And again, that's purely my opinion. Don't let me influence you to watching or not watching any of that content. But I think it is just a case of it's not for me, which is why I've been doing less. I think I have still been making the rumor videos and speculating myself, but that is purely just based on what I think, rather than taking a look at, you know, a run of leaks and going, yes, we're getting this, we're getting this, we're getting that. It's just taking a look at the advent calendar. That was the most recent one that I did. We took a look at the advent calendar, and I was trying to speculate based on the advent calendar what sets we would be getting. Now, I think I did mention about the Sal Barge, which at the time wasn't confirmed, so we're still, you know, speculating a little bit. But for the most part, no one's come out and said we're going to get a Palpatine shuttle next year, besides me in that video. And that is purely because that's what we got in the advent calendar. I called it a Rogue Class shuttle. I'm still hoping for a Rogue Class shuttle, but I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that we're probably not going to get a set based off Bad Batch Season 3, which is a bit of a shame. But maybe we can build some trees while I'm here. For the trees, I did have a really cool technique, but I think I have run out. Oh, I haven't. I thought I'd run out of the bricks, and actually there might be a different way we can build. I have a lot of these sort of oaky-like bricks, which I didn't realize I had. And what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we build 5 up, 5 bricks is the same as 3 Minecraft. So maybe we don't even need 5. But originally I used these bricks here, which you can probably just about see. They are the ones with the horizontal lines on one side and the vertical on the other. I do need 8 per tree. I only have 6, so means 6 is 9. If I add a plate onto this, we could get a smaller tree. And I think this does look the best for making Minecraft trees. Oh, I haven't revealed this yet, but I'm working on something for the Lego City. I think I'm going to reveal it in the stream. You normally get a sneak peek at something coming up. I've got this masonry 1x1 brick, and it is double-sided. The reason I'm doing this is in my Lego City, I have 2 strips on the lads' apartment from Friends, Chandler's and Joey's / Ross's at some point apartment in Friends. And there's 2 strips that are 5 bricks tall that don't have any masonry bricks on, and it does distort the pattern. There's a similar thing with the Friends. The Friends flat, I think, is on the side. Oh no, the Friends flat has the same thing, but it's 4 bricks. And then the Big Bang Theory flat also has a few corners that aren't masonryed out. So I've gone ahead and 3D printed a 1x1 by 5 bricks tall brick using the masonry pattern, and then I'll just have to flip it for the other side. But we could do something like this for the Minecraft trees, taking this brick with the vertical pattern and trying to print a brick that has this on all 4 sides. Now, I did run into a few problems with this, so I am still workshopping it. I think this brick turned out perfectly in the end after a few different updates, but I will try to run something like this. The only problem I think I could run into is the stability of the actual brick, because it would have to be hollowed out in the middle. Otherwise, I'd have 3 brick insides, which is going to create a mess. And also, it would make it apply. I could still use it on like 4 by. To be fair, I could just add a plate to it, but we'd also be able then to extend this however tall we wanted. And of course, I need it in multiples of 5, so then we can make our own custom bricks. I don't want to make too many custom bricks, but because it looks like Lego, I think I probably will end up making that brick. Perhaps we can keep it to the Lego sizes and make it just 3 bricks tall and use a plate on top. But either way, I'm definitely going to be looking at that. So to remind me, I'm going to place it behind this YouTube play button. By the way, I'll probably make a short on it actually, but I do have this YouTube brick built play button here, which is really, really cool. It's currently lit up. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move this out of the way before I knock it over, because we do not need any spillages on this desk. But I don't know if you can really see it. It is lit up a little bit. There is a light in there. Really, really cool. Again, I'll probably do a shot on that. But for the trees, we're probably going to go with these bricks. So again, I can make 3 smaller trees, which can be quite nice. I built this tree. Well, first off, I actually planted a tree in the Minecraft video game and then used that to build this one. So I'm quite happy with how that turned out. But trees are not easy whatsoever, because they use these brackets, and I don't think you have to use the green ones. In fact, I don't have any more green ones to use, but they use these giant brackets. And for the smaller trees, I think I'm going to use the smaller brackets, which does make sense. I like how Animal Crossing does their trees with the little inside bits that you can put the apples in when you shake the trees. But as Minecraft doesn't have any features like that, I do want to add onto perhaps this tree, as it is the big one, a little beehive, which could be really, really cool. And of course, we've got all the bees on it as well. But I think we could continue. Yeah, I think we'll do that another day with the beehive. With the trees, I think at least we'll get some stumps there. So I know maybe we can have a fallen over tree as well. That would be quite cool. But I just need a handful of 2x2 round plates. and we'll just place a few different stumps around for now, because I think I'll work on the trees later. That'll be something that I'll continue for the video. We're about halfway through the stream here, and though we've almost plated out half a base plate, so we are making some good progress. I think these trees would really slow us down. But yeah, I am printing some custom bricks for the Lego City. Like I said, I don't want to do anything too custom. We have members will have seen, oh, when will the video be going out? There'll probably be a video Wednesday about, it'll be sometime this week, I can promise that, about my next phase of custom minifigure display. Because last time we turned our window frame into this case here, which I still can't believe the studs didn't connect. There was meant to be studs on it for the video, and I printed them with supports, and when I popped this off, they weren't connected. There was honestly about 0.1, 0.2 of a millimeter between them. I just got my numbers wrong, and yeah, they didn't connect. But there's going to be an upgrade to this, and it is, like I say in that video, purely to get rid of the top bit, so I can actually get my fingers in there, and so that we don't trap any minifigures. Because if you have glass on either side, there is no way you are getting that minifigure out without having to break the glass, I guess. I don't really know how you'd go about breaking any of them without breaking the minifigure. I guess because it's ABS, you could probably use a nail to shatter it and get the minifigure out. But either way, we don't have to break Lego. You don't have to worry about breaking Lego. 3D printing has saved the channel so many times. I was going to cut up Qui-Gon hair to represent my hair in Lego form. I ended up finding an old piece from Clone Wars Padme and using that instead, which is Qui-Gon's hair without the little bits at the front. And yeah, I'm pretty, well, like with the Friends Apartments, we've got that brick now, which is going to continue the masonry. I'm going to have to color match with the Lego Nougat, but that is slowly improving my color matching, especially for the Wicked minifigures. The flesh color I painted those, I think, is the closest I'll ever get to the Lego flesh color. But let's get some of, perhaps we can put these trees just on the right hand side, so I don't have to build a full tree and just have to build half of it going into the wall. And then we can get, if we, I feel like I want this tree to be a little bit more prominent, but I also want it to be in the center of the forest back here. I guess we've got the forest trees actually going out the back, so I can move this. Oh, that's too close. We're gonna have to move that one brick back, but it makes sense to have the bigger tree towards the front, because as we go to the forest, the jungle tree is going to take over, and we have little, well, I think we only get like one bit of wood in the oak trees in the forest, because they make them a lot smaller to make the jungle trees appear much larger. So we've got an extra tree that might go back a little bit, but back to the terrain. We've got our plates. We need an extra brick. Oh, so there is going to be a tile on the bottom there, but there isn't a tile yet. Let's see if I have any green tiles. I know I have a few light green from Sonic. I have a load of light green tiles from Sonic, but I don't think I have many 2x2s. The reason I'm going to use 2x2s to finish it off, and the reason I've used mostly 2x2s, I'm going to get rid of that 2x4. The reason I've used mostly 2x2s to tile it off is because Minecraft is a very blocky game, and when you're in the game you can see the outlines of each of the blocks. But I could use different tiles if I had them. 2x2s are also going to be the most cheapest. Adding Minecraft skins in Lego Fortnite. Fortnite with Minecraft skins. That could be a really good crossover. I do like how Lego makes Fortnite sets, because there is some appreciation across both of them for different, like we got the windmill in the latest Lego set, which is a slight nod, a subtle nod to the different mods you can get in Minecraft. I think we're still going to need to plate the bottom of this, but I really like, I feel like there is a little connection between Minecraft and some of the Lego sets and little bits like that. There is some acknowledgement, shall we say, between the two of them, which I do really, really like. I think this is a different shade of green, but it will work out eventually. And then for the Spruce Minecraft skins in Fortnite, though, would be really, really fun. Imagine just running around as Steve, because we've seen it we see it with all the Disney characters, like the Incredibles running around with rocket launchers now in the brand new season. But it would be interesting, because Fortnite and Lego have a collaboration. If Fortnite and Lego, Fortnite being Minecraft's probably still the best-selling game of all time, but Fortnite being, since Minecraft, probably the next best-selling game of all time, being free, Minecraft still holds on some record because of the fact that you have to pay for it. It is a game that does cost, but, well, it used to cost. My game cost me like 25, 30 odd pounds. But if Fortnite, Lego, and Minecraft crossed over, I think everyone else would just give up making games. I don't think there's any point releasing a new. What were we talking about last week? We were speaking about. I think it was COD. COD doesn't need to release any more games once the Minecraft skins come out, because people are going to be spending all their V-Bucks on the new Steve and Alex. And something with Lego, actually. Minecraft, like a year ago, announced a ton more default skins. And since then, I haven't been following along strictly with Minecraft. I just see basically as much as you see at the start of every month. Speaking of which, I don't think I'm going to do for December. I really don't want to advertise the Captain America sets. And so far, I think we've got one other set coming out, possibly. They just released or announced a massive boat. I don't know if that's for January or December. I feel like it should be December, but I don't feel like advertising the Captain America set. So we're going to talk about it on the final stream, which I have scheduled. So you'll see on the live tab, probably before you clicked on this video, perhaps after you've watched this live stream, there are, how many? There are 3 more. No, there are 2 more. 3 including this. This is the 4th stream of the year. We're only doing 6 streams this year, but don't worry, I will be back January after the final stream. I'll be back next week for all you watching this live, but I'll be back January with another live stream, and we'll be continuing it hopefully every Monday, because I've really been enjoying this time here. I know it's not been the most popular time or anything like that, but it has genuinely been some of the most fun I've had recording videos and just making Lego content here on the channel. I think I've messed up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 6 because I'm missing the tile underneath. The good thing is it's just tiles and plates, so we can pop that up. But as you can see, I'm going to point out my mistake. I'm not going to try and hide it. Over here at the front, we've got, let's switch to the larger camera. Smaller camera for me, larger camera for the village. As you can see, we've got a brick here and a plate. It should have, there we go. It should have a tile like that. And this is why I think Cheesy in his videos, I keep up with the Minecraft display he creates. That's massive. This is not going to compare. If you want a massive display, go watch Cheesy's videos. But I am going to be taking little bits here and there, I think, to build this one. Anyway, he uses TNT to make sure his bricks are at the same height. I should have had a TNT brick with me. Do I have? Yes. This brick. Because it's one of the only Minecraft bricks that Lego make to scale with an actual block. And basically, as you can see, that TNT brick is not at the correct height that, well, the TNT brick is, but that piece of grass on the left is not at the correct height that it should be. So I'm going to have to pop that off and redo that. But that just gives us more time to speak about other non-Minecraft things, which seems to be the focus of this stream. I let it go wherever it wants to go, to be fair. As long as we're talking about Lego for the most part, it is a load of fun. But with the yep, I've completely lost that. So I apologize if that was getting somewhere interesting. But back to the streams. So on the final stream, I don't exactly know what I'm going to be doing, but I do know that I will be talking about all of the new December sets, because I really don't want to talk about them here on the channel. I feel like it will just be a very down video. I don't like the Captain America sets. Nothing against the boat, to be fair. The boat looks pretty cool, but I'm not a fan of Lego boats. I have a few of the city boats because I really like the fact that they float on water in a swimming pool, in the bath. But in terms of ships like the Endurance, I have no connection to it. I know of the ship. I know it's based on a real ship, but besides that, there's not really anything that any connection that I have to the ship. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, if only Lego made printed bricks that were brown with the little green bit at the top, it would save me using like 1,000,002 different plates. Are we out? Are we out of brown plates? Or have I misplaced them somewhere? Did I get out brown plates at the start? Anyway, so I will be talking about the December sets on that final stream, and perhaps we can do a bit of what we've got going next week, which is a live Q&A here on the channel. It's been a while since I've done a Master Moldy. I hopefully, by that point, will have heard back from the Lego Ambassador Network, which, you know, you've got to keep high hopes for. You never know until you get the email. So I still have my fingers crossed. By some miracle, I have made it into the Lego Ambassador Network with like 3,700. We hit 3.7k just before I went live. So I don't know who it was that subscribed, but thank you so much. We're now on 3.7. It is 3.7, isn't it? I hope it's 3.7. We're now on 3.7 thousand subscribers. And if we're not, hopefully by the time the video's out, we're on 3.7 subscribers. It wouldn't be good if we were on like I'm pretty sure 3.7. That's almost 4k subs. And I will also be talking about doing something for 5k subscribers as well. I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm doing for 4k subs, let alone for 5k. But I feel like 5k subscribers, follow me on this one, is halfway to 10k subscribers. And at 10k subscribers, we are building a UCS set of your choosing. I'll put up like a community poll. I think the big one at the minute, it was going to be the 8080, but then someone threw the Razor Crest in, and also the 8080 is like 750 quid. And I would much rather get the Falcon at that price, but at the same time, I don't want to be spending 750 quid on a Lego set. The most expensive set I've bought today is a Master Builders Mos Eisley Cantina, which I could have sworn I pre-ordered for £220. Turns out it was 320, so it was £100 more than I thought it was anyway. But I got, what did I get for that? I got some sort of uni bonus or something, or it might have been, it was my first, was it my first payday lining up with something? I don't know. Either way, I had a bunch of spare cash when I was off at uni, so I decided to buy the Master Builders Cantina. Do not regret it. It has single-handedly built an entire modular building. I should probably change this up. The 8080 is still decorated for Halloween. So after this stream, before I tackle Minecraft, I'm going to get rid of the buttons. But it's single-handedly built an entire tower and Jedi Temple over in the city, which I'm quite impressed with, to be fair. I've got a ton of sandy bricks left over for the beach in Minecraft as well, which is definitely where some of the 2x bricks are going to go. But we've got the Razor Crest is up there, so I might have to pick that up before it retires, because I don't fancy buying any of these sets when they retire. There was another UCS set though. Oh, it might have been the Sail Barge. I think the Sail Barge does look, I really like the Sail Barge. I can't lie, I do really like the Sail Barge. It's a lot of money, but I think it would be really cool to have it. I don't know where I would display it, and that's the thing with either of these sets. I don't know where I'd display it. It would probably be on the top here, but we've got so many helmets, and I'll probably have to whack up another shelf for it. Or perhaps we can just hang it on the wall there's a little bit of dead space the other side of the castle. That is going to be filled very quickly, but I think it would be cool. I always said, because we've got the Disney castle, then we're working on something for Harry Potter at the other side. I think it would be really cool to get a Jedi Temple build here. And I've seen a few custom mocks, but not many people have been trying to like sell the instructions or anything, so it would probably be something we would build on our own on this channel somewhere. Yes. With Minecraft, you also get a ton of these, which are going to save me tiling so much. We've got a bit of soil that we can add into patches of the dirt as well, which will be interesting, as well as, well, I guess we don't really need it for crops, but we do have quite a few of these green 2x2 tiles with a stud on top. Not entirely sure what they are officially called, but yeah, as far as 10k subs, so 100k subs, I am still planning to build a minifigure scale 1 to 45 Star Destroyer. People have been saying build the Venator, it's a little bit smaller. I'll probably build the Star Destroyer and then have a bridge swap for it to be the Venator, because I'm going to need to make as much content with this as I can when it is built. But it will have a interior of some sort. I definitely want to build a bridge. I am looking to try and model a bridge using purely the pieces from the new Star Destroyer, because it gives me an excuse to buy the playset with the Cal Kestis minifigure in it. And I think that could be really, really cool. But these, I don't know if we have any different colors or if they're one. Oh, we do have some different colors, so I don't need these ones. But I do want to build the bridge of the minifigure scale Star Destroyer using just the playset. I think that could be really cool, and that could help in slowly progressing towards it, because I'm going to need to start it. Probably going to need to start it now with how big that ship's going to be. But that's going to be a load of fun when we get around to building that. And we've also got, that's at 100k. 10k, as I said, is the UCS, which is between the Razor Crest and the Sail Barge. Pretty sure it was the Sail Barge. And then at 5k subs, there needs to be some, maybe I can buy the Star Destroyer at 5k, but I've bought the ATTE, the gunship. We've got the Slave one, which I don't think I was making videos on at that point. That was over 5 years ago now, so that was a while before I was making content. We've got the Ghost as well. I've made big purchases on the channel. It really needs to be something special and something that would, something different to what normally goes on this channel. So it can't just be buying a big set. It needs to be doing something with it. Perhaps it can even be bigger than the channel, in terms of perhaps we can go and do something somewhere else, somewhere. I mean, if anyone's watching this and wants to do some sort of, not collaboration, but helping someone else at 5k, I'd be down to do one of those. Not Mr. Beast style, but perhaps buying a set and donating it somewhere and doing something like that. I think that could be pretty cool. That would be a different style of content to what we normally see in the Lego space. But I don't know what I'm doing for 4k, so I think 5k can be thought of for another time. But either way, I'm definitely still thinking on it right now. But you know what? I'm going to look into doing something like I just mentioned about a different style of content. I think that could work quite well. Is this too close for the minifigure to be battling the creeper? Are they really fighting, or are they like slowly embracing in a hug? Maybe we can separate these a little bit. Although, okay, I've got an idea for that little bit in the middle. I don't know if I own the piece that I'm thinking of, but I can always get a regular piece and print something on it. I've got an idea for that. We'll have Steve looking awkwardly at the zombie. This is slowly coming together and looks a lot better than before. In regards to the Star Destroyer, you'll be making the exoskeleton out of Lego. Yeah, so I've seen, I'm not sure who built the Moff Gideon cruiser. I saw that, and I'm pretty sure I don't know about the frame really, because I only watched like 1 or 2 interviews, but I had a little look, make love not war, in terms of the creeper embrace. But I saw a few interviews, and I think there was a metal frame holding it up, because Lego, well, let me get the AV7 cannon back. We know that Lego this big is bowing under its own weight, and there's not exactly a lot of weight on the end of this, so it's going to be a big project. However, rather than creating any sort of metal frame, what I was hoping to do is I'm going to build it in sections. So we're looking no bigger than a 48, probably because of the size of it. They'd be closer to 32 by 32 sections, and we're talking about like a model bigger than this room. It's probably about 5 to 8 meters. The exact number depends on what Star Destroyer you are looking at, but we're looking at 2, nearly 3 times the height of myself out long. So by creating the little sections, if I could prop them up, thankfully the bottom of a Star Destroyer is quite flat. A Venator is quite arched both ways, but we see it in Rebels, we see it somewhat in the original trilogy. It definitely has some sort of angle, but it's a lot flatter than the Venator, which is why I'm sort of sticking to the Venator's design. But what I would be doing with it is keeping it mostly flat and building. So the wings at the end, oh look, I've got another base plate here so I can show you. The wings at the end, we've got a flat plate there, and I'll be building some sort of angle. And the end of the wings, I don't imagine a much, well, I guess you've got the little side bit as well where the little ships can dock. The thing is with minifigure scale is the Lambda shuttle, I think, is about the size of a TIE fighter when it's folded up. It's a bit pointier than that. So we're looking at about this much space on the end of the Star Destroyer. And the hangar is, I think, like 3 by 3. It's going to be a big model. Thankfully, with Star Wars, what we see on screen, hello there, Bullet Grievous. Grievous? Bullet Grievous. Grievous. I don't think I've ever said Grievous before, but not that way. But what matches up on screen and on paper are 2 very different things. On screen, they've gone bigger, better. On paper, if we had 2 hangars as big as we see them in Squadrons in the original trilogy, the numbers don't quite add up, because what you're actually seeing is those hangars are back to back, and then the doors that go through to the complex corridor system. If you've played Battlefront 2, the corridor system it just sends you round and round. But again, it doesn't quite add up, because the hangars would be back to back. The bridge itself would go all the way to the back of the actual bridge exteriorly. But then there's a door at the back which leads into a corridor which takes you out. Well, realistically, that door would be in space. There's a lot of numbers that I'm going to have to crunch to try and get this to work. But the good thing is, when working with Lego, it's going to be modular. I can just break pieces off. And for that reason, I'm going to build it on a flat level base. So there's technically not going to be an underneath of the ship. Hopefully that will fix any of the exoskeletons. However, I have, since the AV7 cannon, you know, the floppiness of it, shall we say, I have made some contacts. There are a few different companies that make some axles that can be custom length, really, really long, if not custom. And that is going to be my savior, I think. When it comes to securing a build, there are a few Lego elements that allow axles. Oh, here we are. So these specific ones come from the friend set, and these aren't the best when I'm trying to explain this, because I think, yeah, they do block the axle from going all the way through. These elements here, the scaffolding ones, but they have 2 of these plates which stop the axle going entirely through. But there is another element that allows the axle to go. It allows the axle to travel all the way through the brick and into another one. And what I'd be using is a combination of this with a metal. I mean, it would be really expensive to build the whole model, but, you know, 100k subscribers, you only hit that once. Hopefully I only hit that once, unless something goes wrong. I'm not going to build 2 of these. If we hit it and then we don't, and then we hit it again, I'm still only building 1 minifigure scale Star Destroyer. But I'm picking up a few tips and tricks as we go along, and I'm going to try to stay away from using any non-Lego pieces. Ultimately, I might have to build some sort of, as you see, the exoskeleton of the Acquitance, but I'm going to try and build it in Lego. We'll see how that goes, and it is going to be a very modular build. Like I said, we're looking at, what's that, like 30 centimeters. So 3 of these is a meter. We're looking at least 15 of these long for the smallest Star Destroyer, that is. And then we're probably 15 by we're looking at least 5, 6, 7, possibly even at the wide parts at the back, 8 of these wide. I'm not using official Lego base plates unless, excuse me, unless Lego wants to sponsor it, unless we get into LAN and this can be a giant project. But again, that is for 100k subs. For 5k subs, we're going to do something special. I don't know exactly what it is, but there will be something done. Now that we've corrected the level of the platform, you can see the TNT block fits snug into that little gap. I think we'll continue working up on that. It is coming up to 12. We'll probably run slightly over in this stream, but I would like to try and build up some of the back. Like I said, we have that giant minifigure display that does need to be broken down. I'll probably do that once I stop going live, because it's very distracting trying to break something, build something, and talk at the same time. It's enough trying to build and talk. So I'll probably run that afterwards, but we'll see how much we can get done in this stream. Let's make sure we've still got chat open. So in terms of building it up, there's no real process I am following. You can see we've got that little block coming out here, which cannot be removed. It could be removed a second ago. Then I added some plates on the top. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm putting this together just using, maybe we can go a bit flatter, because I'm trying to recreate the look that Minecraft give their slopes, and they're not just, you know, rows of blocks. You got a few sticking out, a few going in a little bit, and they're almost 1 to 2 blocks on each part. So I'm going to try to replicate that best as I can by using, well, you can see a mixture of 2x4, 2x8, 2x2 bricks, plates, tiles, and hopefully one day soon we will have the whole thing tiled off. It will be looking very, very smooth, and I will be able to find all of the bricks that I'm looking for. There we are. So what we've got here is we've got some bricks, but these bricks are only 2 plates tall, 2 plates taller than the last grass block. So we've got a third one using a plate here, which just, you know, finishes up. Ooh, we don't want that because that goes right to the end. And then we've got, I'm using a few different, maybe we should use a 2x4 rather than a 2x2. I seem to have an abundance of 2x4 plates, and I don't really know where I've got them from. Probably Minecraft, to be fair, but like I said, most of my, actually, I've got some plates up here somewhere. I've got a few different drawers that are dedicated just to Minecraft pieces, and eventually, once we're building this, you'll see those pieces go down a little bit. Perhaps we can build on this little ramp, a little like start-in, set up a furnace, get a crafting table in there, because I have a ton of pieces in here. We have a bed, we have some dripstone, we have a green helmet, we have a minecart, and we have a ton more Alex and Steve minifigures, as well as like the Nether portal, ladders, and some other Minecraft accessories. But that will free up some space on here, which will be quite handy. I've got most of the Lego away. I do have a big Lego head full of other bits I haven't been able to fit in there. For the most part, I think most of my Legos away. And we've also got the Bricklink store. I think we still have a few Rebel Troopers, and we have a few of the newer Sabines on the Bricklink store, as well as a few parts from various sets. I did end up taking the Spaceman off of this Spaceman just up here. We've got the yellow Spaceman from the new Space Mech, because I think it would be really cool to try and have a full collection of this year's Spacemen. I'm not much of a Lego collector, but I do like the classic Spacemen, and I think having this year's design would also be pretty cool. I have 4 of them. The Builder minifigure exclusive one, then the blue arms, the yellow arms, and the green arms. There is gold arms, and there's a big set that comes with, I think, 2 different, and there's a few different space peeps with the different coloured arms, but astronauts, I guess, rather than spacemen. But I don't know exactly which ones I'm missing. I know there's at least 2 of them. Hopefully I can complete the collection at some point. Back to this, I don't think I have many tiles from actual Minecraft sets.
We have a few containers which would be nice to hide around, but for the most part, I think we're just sticking to using the plates and tiles to try and build up this side here. So as you can see, we have 3 plates tall of brown. Let's switch up the camera again. I'm enjoying this new desk cam that we've got, so you can actually see what's going on down here and I'm not relying solely on my description. It's not the best quality, I know. Well, it's 1080p, but it's not the best. It's not the best quality, but we will get there. I'll probably hide. I realize we built this out using brown. How many layers? I have to research this in Minecraft. How many layers of dirt do we have before we get to stone? Because I'm pretty sure it's only 3 or 4 different bricks tall. And I mean, we've only got 1, 2, 3 bricks here. But as we go up, I'll probably go. Oh, I think we need to go up a bit more. So the water is eventually going to be the same sort of paneling as this nether portal. And to get that over the axolotl, which will be next to this in the display, we do have to build it up quite a bit. But we're also going to have another 16 by 16 studs over here, which I will try to arc up. This is just going to be a flat wall on the side here, and you can see I've already got some supports in for that. But we do have 16 by 16, but we do have to, let's have a little look how high we have to make it. Okay, a bit taller than that. That is the height of the axolotl house. I thought that one would have done it. I think that would be good. Let me try and get, oh, does that hold up to the Minecraft? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need another 2 plates on it to see it. But look, I think we're going to have to go with the 2 plates. So let's go with another plate on top. It's slightly out of the camera, but hopefully it just a little bit. You kind of see the top of it. What I'm going to do for that is add a bracket to the top. We've got this stick here, which on camera, there we go. We've got this stick here, which is the height of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7 Minecraft bricks. It is 10 bricks, 2 plates, 11 bricks, 2 plates tall, and is the height of 7 Minecraft bricks. And by putting that over the top, you can just see at the top of your screen, it will work either way. We can actually flip this upside down and have it so that it's almost like a cup, so we can have some items floating there, but I'll probably make it smooth on top. So we're going to need it to be this tall. Maybe I can move this. We're going to need it to be about the height of the village house, a block taller than the height of the village house. So that's going to be interesting, because I was hoping we would get away with quite a bit shorter than that. I think we still go forward with it. So we've got 3 bricks so far. We can go 4, 5, and then build 6, 7. We only need 2 plates tall, and we are gonna need some sort of base for it, because I do want to transition that into sand for the final one before the water. So I guess we only need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, and that should overhang by 4 studs. So we've actually got 12 studs to build up to this. So it's going to be nice and flat on top. We'll probably even get another story told. So if we can get up to 5 bricks tall, which I don't think I've got 5 TNT, but let's have a little look. Maybe I need to add some more. Well, in all fairness, the TNT doesn't have to be on both sides, because as you can see with the actual Minecraft TNT, we've got TNT printed on both sides, but they are printed on 1 by 2. So what I could do is, well, let's see if we've got 5 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Perfect amount of TNTs, and there's even one with a tile on top. It knew we only needed 5 of them, but what I could do is make 10 of them, which I think we are getting a bit TNT greedy here. That is a lot of gunpowder and sand to be using. However, it would look really cool if we can hide a few more around. And as they're only seen by the front with a 1 TNT logo, we don't really need it on both sides. We could double up the TNT. Let me know what you think in the chat, in the comments. Should we double up our TNT and give it like an hour? Once the stream's over, I'll probably have already done it. But we're going to go with 5 for now. That is the height we are trying to build in true cheesy fashion. We are trying. If you can't beat them, still their ideas. But if you can't, yes, we are going to build up to that height, and then I think that is probably where we'll end up this string. We've got a village section looking really nice. I want to add, I want to add a 6x6 plate to cover that, or bamboo. We didn't get around to adding the bamboo. I do want to work on a jungle tree, depending on how hard the jungle tree is, because I feel like the jungle tree will use a lot of this nougat clay, almost wood-like bricks, but I don't know how I texture it and make it look like, because there is the dark brown layers every so often. But we will be, I will be building a few little bits after this for tomorrow's video. But let's get around to actually building up. We have a few more brown bricks around there, actually building up this side bit, because now we've got some floating bricks. The good thing is with this level right here is because we are finishing it up with 2 plates and a tile. We've got brown plate, then we've got green plate, then we've got green tile. It's the equivalent of a brick tool, so that does work out in our favor in terms of we can just add a 2x4. I think I've used all 6 2x4 bricks, so we are going on to not quite another stack. We've only got 5 here, but I am still I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to save the 2x4s for. This is what I was saving them away for, and I'm just still putting so many away, because at the front we've got this section. I guess we've got more going around, and I don't have an abundance of bricks. I have 1 2 3 4 5 6, so I have like 36 more bricks. I do have quite a few 2x4s, and that is on top of all the 2x3s, 2x2s that you've seen dotted around. However, this is going to take up a lot of bricks, which is exactly why we've got the minifigure display ready to break down to build up the rest of it. I'm gonna have to run a time lapse on that. I think that will look really, really cool. But let's get some supports in here. Does that work out? 1 across, and see what we can run up. That seems like a lot of TNT. 10 TNT is going to be a lot, but I like to break this down into little segments. This is 9 16x6. I think I'm out of 16x16 plates. I don't think I've got any more dotted around. I do have a black one lying around somewhere. I have no idea where I put that, but we've got 9 16x16 plates here. Then we have another 3. We have 12, and then we have 3 8x16 segments. I believe that doesn't seem to work out. We must have 15, because it's 80 across, which is 5 times 16 if my math is correct. But I'm not going to get any of you to do math. This is a fun Lego stream where we don't need to do math. But I'm pretty certain in saying we should have another, at least another 3 segments. Either way, we should have about 15 16x16 segments. And if I can get a bit of TNT, I guess there's no TNT in the village. We probably shouldn't have any TNT there. We could have a bit of TNT near the creeper. Again, not really needed. But if we have a little bundle of TNT, if I decide to build a player house, which I think is needed, it is a Minecraft world, perhaps we can get something like that. Just a little starter house, or perhaps even a dirt house in the side here. I'm probably going to put a load of TNT underneath it. Perhaps we can have it like snuck in the side bit here, just hidden away. 10 is a lot, but we have a lot. We could probably, does TNT print on every single side? I think TNT is printed on every single side. Otherwise, we could create a lot. I mean, just looking at these top elements that I've got for the TNT, you can see by the fact it's taken me a while to stack these up, we could create a lot, and I mean a lot of TNT. I mean, yeah, times each of these by 5, and that is how much TNT we could create. So keep your eye out for a massive explosive update to the Minecraft world. I don't think I'm going to go ham with that much TNT, but I think doubling 5 to 10 could be something. If we need to, I'll probably keep it like that. I'm not convincing myself when saying that, so I doubt I'm convincing any of you, but I might double the TNT. I do like a fair bit of TNT. Let's add the floating bricks here. Oh, floating bricks here. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull that off. I think I've just got to add some bricks underneath and get some supports going, and then we can put another brick. But I also don't know how much of this I want to be. Might need a second one. How much I want this to come up. I might just have a simple 2x4 brick and leave it at that. We've got 3 plates in this, so we're going to need a green plate on top. That's worked out quite well, I think. And then the next floor, 1, 2, 1. Ooh, it's going to be just off a nice finish. But as you can see, when I cover up, I think I'll probably go 1 brick lower. I don't necessarily want to, because that is quite a bit of brown we are using, but I think maybe we can see what the yellow looks like from the side. I don't know. You can't see it on camera. Perhaps once I've got a tile on that other bit. Yeah, you know what? There is a little gap at the back bit there, but I think when this is all put together, we're not going to notice any of the little air gaps in Lego. Lego isn't perfect. I realize that modeling my own bricks. Lego isn't actually 8mm wide per brick. It's 8 for an extra. So if you're going from a 1x1 to 1x2, you add 8mm of brick. However, well, no, that is also a lie. You don't add 8mm for every brick you go along. So for this isn't 8mm per brick, which is why it's harder for longer bricks to stick down, because you'd expect it to go on as easy as a 1x1, but you actually have to put some pressure into the longer bricks, and that is because you're adding 7.95mm per brick. I had a little look over the brick patterns that are so old now. I think they bought the patterns in the 80s, so they must have expired by like the year 2000. And you're actually adding, it's not the original 2x4 brick pattern. It was one of their specific ones with a bunch of different changes to the sizes. And you're actually adding 7.95. So you're actually coming up short to the stud. But that is how they have so good clutch power. And the bricks are just made so well that they're not cracking and breaking. I think if I've still got a bunch of bricks from, well, I've still got bricks from the 70s here, which was before Lego even owned the patent for these bricks, or they own the patent or the copyright. I don't know. Lego's history gets a bit confusing when you're looking at patents and copyrights. They bought it from another brick building company. I think it was in like the 80s or something. But and then they've tried to claim it ever since, but they don't technically own it. The only thing they do own, which I have a whole video talking about, is the Lego logo on top. As long as you're not using the Lego logo, you can print most of these bricks that haven't come out in the last 20 years. Either way, with the tolerances, that does mean there are little gaps between them. And I found, you know what, I am going to give them a shout out. I found a channel recently that uses this so well. And I don't know. All right, let's have a little look. So, all right, there's YouTube. We get in there. There's a channel that uses this in their Lego City, and they do an amazing job with it. The channel name doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, which is why I cannot remember. I'm subscribed to so many people. So Brick World International. There you go. If you look at Brick World International honestly has the best Lego City. The roundabout itself, I mean, they do like the bus stop, and the minute they're working on, I think it was the Oscorp Tower they've done the last 2 videos on, but the bus stop alone, Brick World International, go check them out. It is an English speaking channel, that one at least, and some of the techniques they use, some of you might not like it. I know a lot of people that watch this channel like the legal techniques, which, let's face it, Lego hasn't always done for Star Wars. We looked at an old advent calendar build a few months ago now, and that uses an illegal technique. Lego find this out as they go along, but the bricks have so much more potential than Lego lets on, and over time a lot of these do wear down the bricks. A lot of things you'll do day-to-day life over time, a lot of these buildings that are being lived in now, if you go 1,000 2,000 years in the future, if you're not maintaining them, they are going to wear down. But at the same point, Lego bricks in general are going to wear down. If you look at some bricks, so these bricks for instance, these yellow bricks here I bought off Bricklink from the 50s to 70s, I think these specific ones are, based on the connection at the bottom. These are, the clutch power is still pretty good, to be fair. We can't fault Lego there, but there you go. This brick, as I popped off the ones on top, this middle brick that suffered a bit of wear and tear. That one hasn't been looked after too well by whoever owned it, but some of the clutch power isn't as strong as a modern day brick. And if you put substantial weight onto it, if I put this onto it, it's not going to hold up to the stress test that Lego would put on any of their newer bricks. So Lego isn't always going to hold up, and I know a lot of people will be very, I'm not sure if perfectionist is the way, because that's taking it a bit too far, but very want their Lego in really good condition. Illegal techniques are going to hurt your bricks, and there's a lot of them that will damage them a lot quicker. But something like bending a few 2x2s together isn't as bad, I don't think, as, say, putting some cheese wedges in the bricks and trying to get them back to back. We've all done it. It's all, I mean, we've done it not on purpose. I know most of my bricks growing up had those cheese wedges, and whilst we're on that, there's a few tools. I mean, we've got the Lego pickaxes from City Power Miners. We've also got the old brick separators, which are the little spanners that come in City sets. We still see a few of them recently. And there are a few other little Lego tools that are handy, like the Lego magnifying glass, which really helps when identifying Lego bricks. But either way, there are I think some Lego techniques are really, really cool. And if you have a bunch of old bricks from the 50s to 70s, Lego make new bricks, and something like bricks, I guess I probably wouldn't do it with a lot of my Lego bricks, because I know at points I'm going to want to rebuild certain sets, and a load of different colored bricks aren't easy to come across. A lot of the regular colored ones are, but some of them really, really aren't. I've built a few sets and had to take like a 1x16 black plate or brick off of another mock just to build it, because it requires that one piece that sometimes you can swap out for a 1x16, for instance, 4 1x4s, 2 1x8s. But sometimes I would have used all of my black bricks on a mock and just need to take that one back. I'm going with black bricks because at the minute the tunnel has 2 grey stripes in it where I've used the black bricks for something and just never returned them. So that'll be something I'll have to do in the future. However, that's not something I'm working on just right now. But yeah, if you want to check out, oh, I forgot the name of the channel. I think it was Brick World International. Some great mocks. The roundabout alone is reason to watch video. Well, the roundabout video itself come out not too long ago now. I don't think it was, but it was a little bit ago. So I definitely recommend checking that out. I'm sure there are a few other channels out there as well that do really, really cool mock building. 1, 2, oh yeah, because we're right at brick height now, which is going to be fun for making the next side of the display. Perhaps this can be quite a reasonable height for building the rest of it. It's about the height of the village roof here, which I think is a solid height for just continuing it around, and then we'll have a little cliff bit behind the chicken here. But quite happy with how high we've built that, you know. We don't have a lot of 2x4s in green, so that'll be something I probably look at ordering when we continue this even. But we are making some really strong process and talking about a load of different things in the process of recording this. When I started going live on the channel, which was only 3 weeks ago now, I didn't really know where it would go, but honestly, getting stuff like this done, I think for next year I do want to stream a lot more building sets and more probably me sitting down, especially if you've seen any of the recent videos about the clone wall. When the clone wall is expanded, I'd probably do a few more seated down. You can get a better look at some of my other displays behind me, and there'll be some clones on this wall, so I'll probably do a bit more variety in sit and stand in. I'm still standing up at my desk recording videos pretty much every single day, so I really do like this standing desk. But again, if anyone wants to sponsor me with a chair, I have a chair. I do have a chair which I use to edit. I would more than happily sit in it for the entirety of a video. I'm not fussed on sitting or standing, but I do like having the choice of sitting and standing, because sometimes when I'm standing, I make little mistakes like, oh no, we're not at a perfect height. I thought this would be a perfect height, but turns out we are. Let me switch to this camera. I've done this with pretty much every single layer of the grass. We're at the wrong height again. So it's not going to be a perfect height. It is going to, oh, it might be a perfect height, because then we can just tile off some bricks. But I do like the double green on top. So we are going to have to switch that up. And I'm tempted just to put another brown brick, but we can't. We can't cheat the system after coming all this way. So I'm going to use a brown one, a green one, and then top it up with this tile here. We will steal that one. I think I did have a few different colored. Did I have a few different colored? I know the planes and the big green stretches are a bit multicolored. I don't know if you can see there are a few different shades of green I've used here, and I'm gonna use a ton of those green pieces. I think I picked them up at, well, I say I picked them up at the BAM wall. I should have picked a lot more up, because this is all of these green stems that I own. But I did pick them up, not at the BAM wall, at the Pick-a-Brick wall, when I was filling my cup, and didn't think I'd have a use for them. Now I regret not picking up any more. But we've got these 4 little grassy bits. So I guess we won't be needing as many tiles, because we have all of these green jumpers. That's what they're. Jumper tiles, jumper plates. But are they jumper plates or are they jumper tiles? Because I know Bricklink and Lego list a lot of these elements. A lot of the 2x2s with with the 2 studs as tiles with 2 studs, and the same goes for these elements here. And I think the reason they list these as tiles is because the 4x4s with the 4 studs, which I think is the first time we've had something like that, they were listed as tiles rather than as plates. But where do you draw the line in terms of like jumper? They've only got 1 stud, so that makes sense as them being a tile. But something that doesn't, trying to think of something that doesn't have tiles all, that doesn't have studs all over, because we've got a few of the little round ones with the studs on the outside, or the squares with the studs on the outside, but they're more studded than they are tiles. So would a 4x4 with studs around the perimeter be a plate missing 4 studs, or is it just easier to call it a tile with so many studs? It's probably a lot more easier to call it a tile with so many more or so many less studs than before. I'm still going to put the item between the creeper, but just for the sake of adding a bit of greenery and a bit of grass to this Minecraft world, I will start putting a few different grassy patches, and perhaps we can have a little like water, little river or something trickling down. I'm not entirely happy with this little water patch down here, because it's just got grass underneath, so perhaps we can push that back. I think this itself, let me put these away. I think this itself is on its own little plate that I can just pop up. There we go. So what I could do is move the crops forward, and because that's on a 2x6, which means it would need that much space. Oh no, because we want to go down with the blue. Oh no, we could use the blue. I don't think I've got any other blue bricks to hand, but what we could do, I need a 1x3 and some 2x4s. So We'll grab some 2x4s, and we'll grab, I do own a blue 1x3. Again, I don't really know where this blue 1x3s come from, but it's coming very, very handy. And what we can do is, I know water is also one lower than the regular grassy bit, but I do not have enough, I just don't have enough tiles and everything to use, 2x3, to use, well, I know Lego have also released a translucent blue plate. That would be really, really handy in this segment here. And I also need to get my hands on one of those bigger brick separators, the black ones, the 4x1s. I know I can use multiple back to back, but I think using something like that would be really, really handy. But I'm going to lower the crops. Let's see if we can get this closer onto the screen. So the axolotl on that, I don't think I have all of the pieces to build the sandy bit, and as I said, we're going to work on a temple. I'm going to redesign that area, and we're also possibly keeping an eye out for the turtle house, which would work really well with this one, but that will be for a future update. We are going to focus on the 48x48 both in the stream towards the end as we get to the end of it, and also in the video that will follow. The main thing is we want to finish this, and I am going to just finish up on the village here, and then perhaps I will get round to building out the rest of it again. I'm not going to make you sit through a stream. I could continue it, perhaps I will some point in the future stream some of my time lapses, but right now I'm just going to put on a nice Brickworld International video. I don't think he's uploaded today, but put on I don't really know who else. I'm waiting for another Sitting on a Stoop podcast to come out, so I can just put that on and get like an hour of. I don't have anything to build. I don't have much to destroy besides that unit. But either way, just waiting for something to pop out. As you can see, got a little bit of overlap with the blue. That is going to have to change, and I have just the parts here for that. So it would be nice to see a future where Lego plates have the little indents in them like the tiles do, so that they're easy to pop off. But I also think that could actually hinder some mock building. So at the same point, I'm going to ask for it, but I'm going to ask for it on the parts that I want it on. I don't want it on all the different parts, because that would just make mock building a lot harder. But as you can see, we have lowered the crops down by one tile compared to the rest of it. And I think we could build, I think we keep the water at this level as well, and then at some point in the future I'll build a little contraption here to raise the water up just enough for it to be at the right height that we want it to be. Now I only have 6 1x2 tiles. I'm going to need a few more, and I do want to see if I have any of the darker blue translucent. I've got a load of these lighter ones, but I picked up a few on last Christmas on the Pick-a-Brick wall, and I've got another one. I can't remember what I used these for in the end. I thought I had all of these used, but actually I've got like 1 million at the bottom here. So we only need 4, I think, to get what I'm doing, and to make the we'll keep the water at this level. So I've bricked out the bottom of the water so that it can be level with the crops. And what I'm going to do, just to create a little bit of texture to the water and make it look more interesting than it actually is, some tiled off bricks. I have got some dark blue 1x4 tiles. I don't think I own them in 1x2, but we are just zigzagging them. I'll give you a better look in a second. If I lift this up and it all crumbles down, I'm not streaming for another hour rebuilding that. That will be a process that I have to do later, but hopefully it works. The tree is the big thing. If I remove the tree, it should be fine, and the zombie. But what you can see is I have zigzagged it with the dark blue 1x4s and the bright blue 1x2s, and that looks really cool. I might switch it around. We could have water either side of the crops as well. Let's place the tree back on. But the Minecraft display, the Minecraft diorama. I think dioramas more fitting for this. Does look really, really nice now, and you can see it starting to come together. We've got the village, we've got the plains in the middle with the animals behind, a little forest. What would be really cool is to create a dark wood or like a dark oak forest with a creek in. That would be really cool. Perhaps we can have a creek in just chilling behind the tree here. But I'm going to continue working on this today, and I will get a video out for tomorrow. Hopefully we can finish the frame of this. Like I said, we built it up to what I think is the perfect height. I guess it's not perfect with the TNT. You can't even see it anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's not perfect with the TNT because let's switch to the desk cam, and as you can see, there's no base plate under the TNT, so it is a smidge off, but you know, for the most part it is the correct height. We can just lift that a tiny little bit, and I think this is where we are going to wrap it up. Let me just make sure I ain't missed anything in chat. We have Snow Blizzard. What's interesting is the round 2x2 with a stud that is a tile, but the 2x2 plate with a stud is a plate. So that is interesting. So what I think is being talked about, oh, I don't think we're going to be able to access the round one. So these are tiles. These right here are tiles, but these are plates. Are these the 2x2 with a stud? Is a tile, but the 2x2 plate with a stud. Yeah, this has got the stud on the top. So it's interesting how they do it, because I'd argue that the stud to tile ratio on the round one is a lot more, because you don't get full studs on. This is definitely something I'm going to have to research for by next stream, or perhaps do an entire video on, but you don't get full studs on a regular 2x2 plate. They're basically full studs, but they're not quite full studs. So the stud to tile ratio on the 2x2 jumper is more than the 2x2 plate, tile plate, but the yeah, but they call this a plate and that a tile. It's very odd. I don't think there is one set system for it. Make sure they go back in the right drawers. But like I said, we've got a ton of different, I'll show them off in the video actually, all the different Minecraft drawers I've got in my unit, because there are so many bricks that I've put away for it. And perhaps we can even get, what would be really cool, I know Minecraft you can't see the fish in the water. If we get some of the koi, oh no, you can see the fish in the water in Minecraft, can't you? What am I thinking of that you can't see the fish in the water? It's probably like Stardew Valley or something like that. You can see the fish in the water. So I've seen the koi elements be quite popular. I don't think they're on Pick a Brick in stores, but they are on Pick a Brick online. So I might have to, in my January order a handful of those koi tiles, because I think they'd be really cool to get some fish in the waters of this Minecraft world. But I think that's all for today. We've got the corner. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. So the desk cam gone. I'm really happy I got that desk cam working. We've got our village complete. This is risky lifting this up. Our village area, which I think is good to go. We've got it tiled off completely. A few tiles up the side here. What I'm going to do after this, I'm going to go grab something to eat, have a nice lunch first off, but I'm going to use all the bricks from the minifigure display and just build almost a Colosseum-esque surrounding for it, perhaps leading to a cliff up here, because jungles do tend to be quite cliffy. And then we could probably even add a little hidden cave in the jungle as well, and then start working on the jungle tree and just make sure we have plated off and got it accurate using our Cheesy Studios dynamite stick, which is now what this is going to be called for the rest of working on this. But trying to use this, make sure we've got the exact heights correctly, which I'm really happy I managed to fix that up, because I wouldn't want to imagine what would happen if I built all of this around and then realized that one of them was one plate off. I think we'd just bite the bullet at that point and just keep it. But I'm really happy with how this looks, and it's quite colorful for a Minecraft display. All the different characters, animals and that really pack a load of color. But this is over half of the display, this entire base plate. Like I said, it's about 8 studs over half. So we've got quite a bit of work. About a quarter of the display is already done. hopefully we can get up to half of it for the video. But that is all for today's stream. I hope you enjoyed. I do have a brand new screen for the intro and outro. I don't know if any of you call that at the start, so you'll see that in just a second. But thank you all for chilling with me today on this Monday morning where I am. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Perhaps you have a good rest of your night, depending on where you are. And as always, may the bricks be with you. So enjoy your day, and don't forget to come back tomorrow for the rest of the video.